Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to another video of our life. So this is gonna be part 3, I think, yeah, part 3. So let's see what's gonna happen this time. So last time we did the sandcastle, and we kinda learned a little bit about Shiloh, and then some more about the Clove, so that's our Cove, so that was pretty nice. So let's check out these last ones, and I don't know how much time they take, because this one took quite a while, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Oh, I need to be like... Alright, tonight we're going to catch fireflies. At this blunt declaration from your sister, you looked up from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer, coming out on warm nights to dance through the sky. Tonight was particularly balmy, like you knew there were bound to be a ton of them around. Oh, you are you? From a mom? You started eating faster, you looked over at your mom, yeah. A grin curved your lip as you started to eat a bit faster, excited for what was to come. It seemed like you were too excited, however, as you started to choke and cough on your food from shoveling it down too quickly. Oh, I know that feeling, but that's just because I like food. Like, if you know, you just want to like stuff yourself. If you have like a really nice dinner, like not like nice, but you know, if you order like a pizza or like French fries or something, and you just stuff them in your face, and sometimes it like gets stuck in your throat, and then you have to drink something to get it down. It's happened to me quite sometimes. Mommy reached over to pat you on the back, family helping to dislodge the noodles and enable you to breathe again. Oh, noodles! You took a big gulp of water from your glass, giving your mom's a sheepish look. Oops. Shiloh, that's a good idea, Lizzie. Can we, Mrs. Clover? Shiloh tapped his fork against the table excitedly, his face lighting up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to still be there. Like always, his mom had to bring him over really early in the morning before a job started. But normally she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your moms know she'd be late. You didn't hear why. Probably more work things. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer is what made Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guests over. That's why you were pretty sure she'd get your moms to agree. Mom, well, it's already so dark out there. Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes you could, slowly spooning him back and cheese into her mouth while you waited there for their response. Oh, she's sly. Look, she's surprised. Mommy. So this is Mom and this is Mommy. Yeah, I think we established this. She takes quite a lot after. She got like this kind of look, but like this kind of, I don't know, she just looks like her child. Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day. Parents exchanged a look, and then Mom eventually signed and nodded back. Yes! Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in triumph, but waited until you finished chewing to say anything because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full.
Fine.
Mom, fine, just make sure you stay on the hill behind the house with all the puppies. Okay? Duh, Mom, that's where most of them are. The idea had only just been planted in your head, but only you could just picture all the glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from the bedtime stories Mommy read sometimes. All too quickly it became a race to see who could finish their food first. No choking at the dinner table now. That's right, if someone died, we'd had to cancel the Firefly trip after all. Wait, what? Who would say that to their children? And even when they have a friend? What? Oh well. Mom said it like a joke, but you knew that they were both telling your kids to slow down. Well, I mean, obviously they are, but it's not really a good joke, if I had to say. Shiloh did immediately. When you glanced at Lizzie, you saw her still eating faster than she should. Yeah. Elizabeth. Oh, she's called Elizabeth. Oh.
Jeez.
No one is gonna die, jeez. We just call her Lizzie. Alright, I see. A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could no doubt scold your sister. I'll get it. Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the door, pulling it open without even looking out the window to see who it was. Huh? You shifted in your seat to try and get a glimpse of the unexpected guest. It's probably Ko, right?
Hi.
Good evening, Ko. Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Charlotte's flappy hat. Oh, Ko, hi, you're here. Ko smiled at your enthusiastic greeting and you hoped mommy would ask him to stay. Fuck. I pressed twice again. I do it like every episode. Oh well. Then for a few seconds Ko said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with a face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving. My dad told me to drop this off, cause I guess he borrowed it from you. Ko took a familiar screwdriver from out of his large side pocket, eyes now dropped to the floor. We left ours back home when we moved. Great, thanks, bye. Wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here, why don't you come inside for a bit? Lizzie crossed arms and lifted her chin. Ko shrugged and Mom stood from the table too. Lizzie, you bastard, what are you doing? I'll give your dad a call to let him know you got here alright. Ko shuffled fully inside, eyes remaining on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him. Hi, Ko. Shiloh is always so cute. Like, look at the outfit, look at the smile. How could you hurt this child? Shiloh gave Ko a friendly smile while waving by holding up his hand and opening and closing his finger. Ko nodded in response. Are you going to catch fireflies with us? You could see Lizzie eyeing you for mentioning the excursion to an outsider, but she get over it. Yeah, fuck you, Lizzie. You hope Ko would say yes, that way you wouldn't be the odd one out with Lizzie and Shiloh anymore.
Yeah.
I can do that. Thank you. Nice. I never caught one before. It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved in, and there must not have been any where he used to live. We can't go until after dinner. After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. She likes to eat a lot. Since this was very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Ko stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal. Have you eaten yet? Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier. What did you have? Eggs. What eggs? The clipped, one-word answer seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of food on his plate. A phone call with Ko's dad must have ended because your mom came back into the room.
Okay.
Ko, your dad said you can stay for a little while if you like, but he's going to come get you before it gets too much later. Sure.
Fun.
Oh fun, those would be so nice. I mean, they literally live right next door. I don't really see the problem, but that's fine. As you polished off the meal you hoped it would be too. The three of you all finished eating shortly after and Lizzie led the way outside. Remember, don't stray too far. It's fine, Mom. Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie he was nearly stepping on her heels. Ko hesitated at the door. Sorry about that sound, I had to adjust myself in the chair because I was almost lying down and it was hurting my back. You know, when you're sitting in the chair for long enough periods of time, you have to adjust yourself. Coming? After a moment, he did.
Bye.
Bye, children. The two of you were good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh. By the time you walked outside, you pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get farther and farther away. I mean, that's pretty nice. Then, like, Lizzie and Shiloh, they're kind of together, and then I'm together with Ko, like friends. It's pretty nice. You're so slow, Jamie. We don't have all night. You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Ko still walking at a relaxed pace. Yeah, I will walk with him. You fell behind, settling up next to him and matching his stride. He noticed right away.
It's okay.
You can go ahead if you want. Smile and shake your head. I don't. After a short while, the two of you reached the hill behind the house. We ride together and we die together. No man left behind. The fireflies were out in full force, floating on the breeze, not breach. The The gentle glow winking in and out, creating an almost magical effect. Lizzie had already climbed to the top, Shadow spinning in circles somewhere around the middle. Wow. Shadow took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you to the hill. Hi guys, it's really great out, huh? See how many there are? Yeah. Firefly danced through the air, landing on Co's sea green head. Shadow couldn't help but giggle. You and Shadow couldn't help but giggle. Yeah. Covering your mouth with a hand, the sound escaped you and Co looked at you in confusion. What? Oh, look, Lizzie has one. That's amazing. Shadow ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. Why does he always have a backpack though? Oh yeah, because he... No, I actually don't know. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozen of other fireflies sailing around. The game was on. Let's catch some fireflies. What the hell? What? Why does any of this matter? This seems so pointless. Sure. Spotting one close by, you approach with assassin-like stealth. I'm an assassin. Crouching down to make yourself seem like less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept up towards its arms outstretched. Closed your hands around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. Firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and stared down at your present delight. I actually can't remember if I don't think I've ever caught fireflies. I've caught a lot of butterflies, I remember, and I killed a lot of them too because I touched them. And you know, when you touch the wings of a butterfly, the kind of, I don't know what it's called, the grease or whatever it is that's on their wings helps them flying. So if you like touch them, it gets like on your fingers and then they can't fly anymore, at least not as well, and then they sometimes just they struggle. And I didn't know that as a kid, but I caught them anyway because they were so pretty. And yeah, I probably killed a lot of them too by doing that, unfortunately. So yeah, his tiny legs tickled your skin and you giggled at the sensation. Carl kept up with his own type, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his effort to clap his hands around the firefly. I mean, that's true. Co watched it vanish into thin air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. I will encourage him to try again. You'll get the next one. Did you catch one? You nodded and Co gave up his hunt for the moment, coming closer and peering at the insect. Sorry about that. Still crawling across your palm. I don't know what it is, but when I talk a lot, I end up like, what is it called? Burping a lot. There it is, that's the word. You held out your hand and he leaned closer, eyes widening and a tad behind his glasses. Co remained hypnotized by the little bug as he inched his hand closer to yours. Ultimately, he settled his fingers slightly over the top of the ones you were holding open. Wait, what? It tinkled. What do you mean? Whatever. The last thing you wanted was to accidentally scare the shiny treasure off. Holy shit, he has such a big hand compared to mine. What the fuck? Okay, interesting. And why does his nails look like he's a girl? What? Oh, never mind. The firefly, noticing the new connection crawl up onto Co's hand, he quietly gasped. It worked! Yeah, you got one. Co's lips turned up into a slow smile and his eyes shone brighter than the bug. Oh, that's pretty nice. Thanks, Jamie. With a laugh, he gave the palm of your hand a friendly smack, performing an awkward low five. That's the first time I've seen him smile that brightly, I think. That's pretty nice. Startled by the extreme movement, the tiny last light disappeared before you could even blink. Your firefly was gone. Oops, sorry. I forgive. That's okay, I couldn't keep it forever.
You're right.
Right, bugs have to stay outside. Exactly. Let's get another one. Sure, let's collect some more. Oh, we can work together. His face broke out into a wide grin. We'll get a bunch, of course. With renewed vigor, you ran out into the hill. You're not sure how much time passed while you were in the thick of it. All you could focus on was the adventure at hand. No critter was safe from your grasp. At first you tried to keep a tally of how many you had caught, but once the number grew higher than 10, you had no more fingers left to count with. Oh, I remember counting on my finger. I still do it sometimes, like if I had to count something weird. I like still count with my... It's like... You know when you're talking and you're making gestures to like better express yourself? It's kind of like the same when you're like counting to like try and figuring out. It's like... If you take sets, for example, oh that's 1 set of 10, that's 2 set of 10 or whatever. It can be 1 set of 7, 2 set of 7, I don't know. But it helps you like memorizing and keeping track of where you're at and concentrating of where you need to go afterwards. You were having the time of your life, racing up and down the hill with the crash of the ocean and the sound of everyone's laughter echoing in the background. Jamie, this way. Followed the sound of Cole's voice to the top of the hill, watching as he stretched his arms in front of him, reaching with his fingers and only narrowly missing his target. Cove and you took turns trying to scare fireflies in the direction of the others. You showed them some techniques that you had learned, like how to cup your hands correctly, and you listened attentively before trying for himself. There were a few times when you almost ran into each other, giggling as you dove to the side at the last moment. Luckily, disaster was avoided each time. Oh, that's pretty nice. I did it again. I'm sorry, guys. I skipped the dialogue. Oh my god. Eventually, the fireflies began to thin out, and your energy started to lapse. You decided it was time to call off the hunt. Yeah. Oh, he looks pretty satisfied. Go didn't complain, breathed in heavily, and his face seemed really flushed. That was fun, a lot of fun. Smiled at him broadly, happy that he enjoyed the activity. Yeah, it was.
Come on!
Jamie, Cove, get up here, we're gonna have a race. The shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie or Shiloh. Glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning to you with quick hand gestures. As she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up the incline you went. From the corner of your eye you saw Cove was coming as well. You didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued just by the idea of a race. Hi, Shiloh. It reminds me of Shiloh Village, which is like a village in RuneScape, old school RuneScape, and probably also RS3. But yeah, I don't know why. It's a cool name though. Hi Cove, you can roll down the hill, you could hurt your arm again, you'll be the referee for the rest of us. As Lizzie pointed this out, Cove froze in place. Oh, it was that kind of race. You frowned down at his cast. That was the second time it got in the way tonight. What? Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important, got it? I guess. The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else the referee. But it was already decided. I'll stay with Cove. Really? Why? You don't have to. It's okay, I want to watch. You moved beside him on the top of the hill even though Lizzie eyed you and made a face. That's not how races work, we only need one referee. Well, you don't really need a referee, since it's just for fun and good sportsmanship. And you can't really single him out just because he's... I know you're probably looking out for him, but you need to consider his feelings as well. This is difficult, but yeah, I'm gonna stick with my friend. I'm sorry. Shrugging your shoulders, you refused to budge and Lizzie let out a huff before throwing her hands in the air. Fine. I'll be the winner whether you join or not. The only thing I hate about this is that Shiloh, he seems kinda hurt by everything. If there's a disagreement or anything, he seems hurt, and I don't like that. Lizzie, she's kind of a bitch, but yeah, whatever. Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shiloh did the same. Kurt stood slightly to the side to get a better vantage point, and you stood next to him. Countdown. Cove stood up a little straighter. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duties seriously. 3, 2, 1, go! Lizzie and Shiloh took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling at high speed towards the bottom of the hill. You and Co leaned forward to watch them go, eyes peeled for which of the two would reach the bottom first. They were both neck and neck until about halfway down the hill Lizzie started to veer off to the side, giving Shiloh a huge advantage. She obviously hadn't noticed a thing, and as soon as Shiloh reached the bottom of the hill, he jumped up excitedly and threw his hands in the air. I won! Almost immediately he fell back onto the grass, still dizzy from his roll down the hill. Lizzie stomped out of the bush she had ended up in, spluttering angrily and brushing leaves from the front of her dress. Not bad, you got lucky. Let's do it again, see who wins for real. Kids, it's time to come in. No. You sniggered, feeling grateful you hadn't been a part of the mini debacle. Cutco's eyes saw that he was doing the same. It had gotten late and was beginning to feel just a bit chilly as you made your way out of the hills, but the cold in the air hadn't dampened everyone's spirits. Seems like everyone enjoyed themselves. That's pretty nice. The four of you walked back home together side by side down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening, with each person trying to prove that they were the one who got the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that you all had a good time, which, judging by the smiles on everyone's faces, you did. That's exactly right. Nice. So we did those two. Let's do... I'm kind of curious about the grown-up, but I kind of wanted to be the last one, so let's do a long day. It was another scorching summer day, the kind when no sooner had you finished one cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel... pleased. Yeah, pleased. I mean, it's always like that when someone looks up to you and like, oh, how are we gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it like this, and it makes you feel like proud that you know certain things, I guess. You might not be in the double digits like your sister, but he was only 7. I'm only a year older than him. How can you diss someone that's a year younger than you? Being the oldest and getting to be the leader was a nice change of pace. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet, something like ice cream. A popsicle. An ice cream cone. A popsicle for sure, dude. I would take I mean, personally, right now, I would take an ice cream sandwich probably, because I like those quite a lot. But when I was a kid, popsicles were the cheese, and they're still really delicious. You wanted something fruity and brightly colored. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your moms didn't keep sweets in the house. Also, there were plenty of places where such goodie could be obtained, but there were shops and demanded payment in exchange for the products. Well, that's usually how it goes. I'm asking Shiloh for help. Shiloh, do you have any money? Oh, let me check. That was easy. You felt like you should tell him why you were asking. Thanks, I want a popsicle, but my mom still don't keep any here. Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins plus one stray button. He set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1, you announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he'd been watching you expectantly. It's a start. Shiloh beamed at you. We'll need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa and on the furniture, and scoured the back of the drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross: bent paper clips, fluffy wisps, dust or sandy crumbs, but every so often one of you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Yeah, I remember this. I remember sometimes like I would just go around the house and find coins, and then when I found them, my father would just say, oh, you can keep that. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pooling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins once again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. Didn't know when the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? Yeah, we got enough. You could now afford something in the shop, just one thing, but that was definitely infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yeah. The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar bird. Oh shit. Hold on a second. I need to turn off the washing machine. Because it's making a lot of noise. Jesus, these believable. That was quite unlucky, but whatever. It is like what it is. It is what it is. Alright. I need to sit back down. Get my blanket on because it's quite cold down here. And then get my headset on and we're back to go. The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar boy. What is that word? I don't even know how to say that. Yeah, I don't know. You on to your destination were breathless but happy. You stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause. Aren't you getting a popsicle? Shiloh asked as though he was entirely separate from the decision rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Shiloh cocked his head to the side. It was your idea, you should choose. You tried to get something you both wanted anyway. Yeah. It wasn't fair for you to be the only one to decide when he'd been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack. What do you like? All of them, they're so good. You pressed further. But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice creams? Which is your favorite? Oh, it's so hard to pick. I don't know. Frustrated, you cut to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? Yeah. And that was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally. I hope Shiloh would actually like it too. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You sucked on the fruity popsicle you bought. The ice treat cooled you down perfectly and the zesty flavor was refreshing. Held out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head. He didn't want any? After everything he did to help get it? That was weird. Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you had ever seen on TV or read in a book said that sharing was caring. You stood your ground even as the treat started to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. It's only fair that you have some, we both bought it. But you wanted more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun already, so you can have it, that's more fair. Held it out to him. Why don't you have some even more than I want to finish, so eat your part. Relenting, Shiloh took the treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up. It's really good, thank you. He smiled, pleased with your good deed. You picked the best one, thank you. I think Shiloh is just one of those introverted kids that are like, you know, it like holds him back whenever he does things, and he just wants to be included, but he also just wants to like feel the happiness of the other person he's with. Like, he sets the other person's pleasure above his own, and it's what makes him the most satisfied as well. But I think it's nice to include them too. Like, if we buy some food, we can share it. Like, no, even if I'm the one that wants something, you're the one who, yeah, you know. I think most people have it that way. Of course, some people could also just be selfish or not notice it, because it's actually difficult to notice sometimes. Like, does they really mean they aren't hungry, or do they really just like cover that they don't really know what to do or whatever? But oh well. Did you mean that? Shiloh was always so nice no matter what happened. Even if he hated it, you knew he wouldn't say so. That's true. Maybe you thought it was gross and that's the real reason why he didn't want to take some. I don't think that's why. I think it's because he just wants to please you. You had no idea. You studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying him still weird. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid to. Exactly. That's how, like, most introverts feel. I feel like. All of these options are bad. I mean, are you scared of me sounds bad. Are we friends sounds bad. It's bad to just ignore it. I think it's kind of sad, yeah. Not being able to talk to people isn't fun, and you don't want to be the kind of person people were scared to tell their honest opinion to. You considered asking Shiloh about it, but if he couldn't give an opinion on something like ice cream, then he wasn't going to open up about this. That's a really good observation. Very well. You wouldn't think like this if you were 8 years old, honestly. It kind of feels like we are an adult, like speaking to a child, by the way this is being phrased. You hope for the best, maybe you were wrong, or if you were right, maybe he'll feel better about it soon. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times and there had been confusing ones. You were positive of one thing at least, the treat was delicious and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted 2 very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. What? You walk straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Oh, he's crying, and she's kind of moody. Once there, you. Yeah, carefully ask what happened. Without a time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something wrong, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. I even come to Cove's age. You wanted to hear the story. Cove, what happened? Jamie, I got yelled at. He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandparents got mad at me. Oh, sorry. Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of near my house. Your heart sunk. You know exactly what had happened. Every year, the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove, she couldn't have. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them, but the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice like Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction. I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do? No, I'm just gonna stay away. Or you could teach them a lesson. There was a devilish glint in her eyes. What? You should ding-dong ditch them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great cause they're so slow they'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again. Wow, that's rude, dude. Yeah, I knew it. She's a bully. I'm glad, but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you. You're not a chicken, are you? Yeah, cluck cluck. She can't teach you about being chicken if you are in fact a chicken. Hunched over, you fold your arms to form wings and bat them up and down. Buck, 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 ah. For once, your sector seemed at a loss, but it didn't take long for her to regain her usual confidence. So you admit it. I mean, doing the ding dong diddly do, whatever she called it, that's something I never did. I don't understand why children do that. I don't know what they gain from it. Yeah, I've never done it. And if there was someone that was mean to me, I would just go away from them, like stay away from them. And if I saw them that they kept being mean to me, I would just like, alright, that's fine, that's your problem. Even as a child, I actually don't think... I actually don't know. I probably bullied them in some other way. I wouldn't do the ring on the door clock because that's... I've never done that, but I would... I don't know, maybe take one of the plant pots or something, I don't know. You could say, which is worse, but yeah, that's just how I was back then. You continue to flap your arm wings as you circle your sister, clocking all the while there's no shame in a chicken being a chicken.
Yeah.
Things were not going the way Lisa expected. She fought against the left and looked for a way to restore her serious authority. You and Cove were both little chickens. Come! Go folded his arm. 31 with the cast wasn't as tightly tucked down and joined you in cheaping around. It was hard to look through the giggles that rose up when you saw him imitating a chink, but you still both gave a first-class performance. The door to the old cop's condo flung open to reveal one of the culprits behind Cove's tears. You froze, wings raised. Can't you let anyone have a bit of peace and quiet? You must not be a fan of theater or farmlands, as well as kids. That was the only explanation for his outburst, which was far louder than anything you and Cove had done. Go on, beat it. It was distinctly unfair because Liv was trembling and he thought it would be best to heed his command. Lizzie took off, while Charlie immediately trailing after her without as much as a glance back in your direction. So much for your friendship. You waved your arm, the Cove summoning him to follow you and ran after Lizzie. The old man's hollers propelled you all from the street to the sanctuary of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in air, was already lacing on the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin. Hey, Go lift this up. I thought I told you there were mean grandparents around here. Go rolled his eyes, then decided this wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response, started chatting to Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. At the back of your mind you knew you'd be second fiddle again to Shiloh and once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. And it was fine, you thought. Still for yourself how much time you spent together there. Yeah. I know how it feels. It sucks sometimes, but I mean, it just is what it is. I also have done the same on the opposite side. If I'm better friends with someone else and want some together with them, it just clicks better and you just talk to them more than you talk to the other person. It's weird, but yeah. And I think a lot of people have been on both sides of that coin, both been the one that not exclude the other person, but you know, you can feel that you talk more to one person than the other. And also be on the other side where you are the one that's just looking and observing for the most part. You had been hoping the two of you might have become closer, but you had to let it go. He was happy where he was, yeah. Oh, dang it! I keep doing it. I got a trigger finger or something. I need to find a button to push instead of doing this. Oh well. You wriggled closer to Ko. He had calmed down for the most part and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pinched the stem and tilted the white petals towards him. That's a puppy. Ko glanced at you in acknowledgement, then back to the flower. The type of puppy on this does have the name White Linen Puppy. Mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. Ran a finger around the edge of the petals. It doesn't feel like cloth. You need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plant. Evaluation complete. This is my favorite kind of flower, but I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. Why are there so many? Snapdragons. Hibiscuses. Peonies. Sunflower, tulips, orchids. I don't know. I guess it's this one. I wouldn't say it's my favorite kind of flower. But I don't know. Do I even have a favorite flower? I don't think I do. I don't know. Let's pick Snapdragons because it's a nice name. I think I know how they look, but I'm not quite sure. That's a cool name. I haven't heard it before. Exactly. It's a cool name. Yeah, they're cool. They look like roaring dragon faces. Like this. You open your jaw wide and roar, demonstrating the flower's unique appearance. Whoa, you knew everything. Not everything, but thanks. Oh, he's laying down. Why is he wearing... He's wearing the same clothes as always. Well, I guess you do this as a child. And I guess I also do this as an adult. Oh well. You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under one cold rainy days. You wondered if the clouds would be as soft. They lazily floated on by, splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes. Saw a dolphin, I saw a cat, I saw an alpaca, I saw a smiley, I saw cloud shapes. I saw a dolphin, I guess. You saw a dolphin leaping through the sky. You nudged Cove and pointed to it. Look, a dolphin. Cove joined you in gazing skywards. Yeah, I see it. It's blinking. That's pretty nice. Really? No, but I like dolphins. Hey, he chuckled at your reaction. Well, fuck you too, Cove. All the sunlight faded from the sky and the moon rose higher. Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and surveyed her surroundings. The ocean, visible from the crest of the hill, beckoned with every sweep of the tide. Let's go to the beach. But it's quite late. Look, it's so dark. There's no argument from the other two. Shadow was still Shadow, and Cole would never say no to going to the shore. He was a child to see you. I mean, if I think as a child, then I definitely wanted to go. But if I think as an adult, I would probably say it's too late, it's dark, we need to get home. But since I am a child, let's act like I'm a child. So let's go with this one. So you eagerly joined the others in descending the hill down to the water. Stepped onto the sand for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach was nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sandcastle and footsteps in the sand too big to belong to any of you were the only indication of how busy it had been only hours earlier. The four of you kicked shoes off and removed socks and walked along the water's. The waves tickled your feet. Oh, this is really nice. This is like the perfect kind of scenario. Like just a chill day with your friends out at the beach, and it's just... And then at night you can look at the sky and look at it. Oh, it's so beautiful. And if it's warm too, that's something I want to experience again pretty soon. I wonder what would happen if you tried to take a bath in the ocean with shampoo and everything. That would be bad for the fish. Actually, it would be quite bad for yourself because there's a lot of salt in the water and you wouldn't really be able to wash it off. So it would be just covered in salt. And I don't know if it's good for your skin. But yeah. It's definitely not a good place to take a bath in. You need like fresh water.
Jeez.
I didn't say anyone would do it, jeez. You don't have to be serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It hurt the fishes. I like bubble baths at home, they're a lot of fun. Me too, bubble baths look serious. You'd never heard Lizzie use that word before. Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have cans. I'm gonna do that next time. Hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while, she's busy. What about your dad? How come you never talk about him? Nobody does. Don't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they never talk about? You kept your eyes on the ground watching your toes get swallowed by waves. Even if Charlotte never seemed upset when this topic came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both of your moms. It's okay, I'm like Lizzie and Jamie. I don't have a dad, but I don't have two moms. I just have one. She's really great. Oh, sorry. I only have one now too. My mom isn't here. She's back home. It's just my dad with me. Oh, I never had a dad or anything, so I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone. Come nodded. You joked about Charlotte's mom getting... No, I don't want to joke about that. That's weird. Yeah. Kokun must have responded. You don't think he truly disagreed? Though. The silence broke with a splash as Licky kicked in your cold water and sudden sand splattered against your legs. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Ko joined in, striding the incoming waves to make a splash of his own shadow skirt out of Ko's spray zone with a grin. I retaliated. Used your foot to smack the water pooling around, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. You laughed as she spluttered some of the salty seawater, having landed in her mouth. She spat it out. Yuck. Lizzie chased your intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator on the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Co. Alliances were silently forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Ah! Shiloh's brief exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash she had, caused by him falling face first onto the ground. That would have been bad enough without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain, as you all hurried over to check on him. His hair was plastered to his head, and his soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still right, I couldn't see it. That was crazy. Are you okay? Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over. Way to go, Shiloh, you dumbo. Offered some help. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy sniggering to notice and held a hand out to Shiloh too. He reached over and took it. Slowly he started to pull himself. Wow. Wow. Well, okay, fuck you too, Shiloh. Then he slipped down the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another wave to hit the water roll over them. Ah, I see. Okay, fair. That's fair again. But what were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought they must be low, but there's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose then pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh fell unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground, wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got her again as well, this time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy, but that didn't stop Cobb laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake. Damp clothes may have weighed down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside chatting to Coastan. That's some really attractive moms you have. We're back. Your mom's faces fell as they took in the state you were all in, ranging from messy to soaked.
No.
Elizabeth, is that all you had to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. They certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that how you want him to be? Is that how you want him to be for the long drive home, cold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Yeah, you have to take responsibility as the oldest. That's what sucks about it. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Coast matted here. You've been out making memories, bucko. I'm glad you had a good time with your friends. Cove used his slightly moist cast down to push that off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and just as much fun. That might be right, kids. What can you do? Come on, Cole. Let's go get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset. Cole winched at that thought.
Okay.
What is wrong with his arm anyway, since he has cat? I mean, I would expect it to be like broken or something, but it's clearly not because he can use it for something else, so it must be... I don't know what it is. That a boy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove up off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him, but that didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested to be carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Night, Clover family, and Shiloh too. Resigned to his fate, Cove twisted his body in his dad's arm in order to turn around and wave goodbye. Smiling, you waved back. Good night. Well, we better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom. Yes, Mom. Okay, Lizzie's mom. Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. That won't do much good tonight. Sitting on an old beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall until you were less sandy. You weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner that felt like an indoor picnic. It had been decided that Shadow would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Mrs. Fields had come to elect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing him without that hat on for once. I want to see that. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got to go in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath as she had hoped. This was a no fun allowed clean-up session, at least that's what she claimed. Not much longer and it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. After a day like this though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. Nice! I actually felt like I don't know which one was best, but both Long Day and Fireflies were really good. Sandcastle wasn't that good, it was kind of moody. I don't know if it was much choices or whatever, but it didn't end that well. So I think I'm gonna end the episode here. I think it has taken quite a while. This episode is quite long. I think I didn't mean to make it, but I felt like we kind of needed to get through 2 moment selections because we have been stuck here for quite a while. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you in the next episode where we're gonna pick Grown Up and probably Shopping. And I don't think we can get anything more out of an episode than 2, so yeah, that's that. Anyways, see you in the next one.